Hello, Resurrection. It's October the 18th. It's Wednesday, and we're at the church getting ready for our regular Wednesday night programming. We'll have dinner tonight at 6 o'clock, and we will go right in. We're talking about Israel a little bit tonight in the adult class, and our youth and our children will meet with their regular programming. And I want to tell you how happy I've been with attendance on Wednesday nights here lately. We're having a good time, and we've got a good crowd showing up. The youth group we lost a bunch of seniors last year, and since Mr. George was called home, our youth group attendance has been a little thin, and I'm actually not surprised by that. But I think that now is the time when our youth probably need to come together and lean on one another. I'm so grateful to Dustin and Susanna Bledsoe for taking them under their wings right now. And youth group's going really well right now, and we need to get our youth back into the regular habit of that. It's been a hard few months for our sweet youth group. We do have a sweet youth group. We've got some real needs in that group right now, some prayer requests, and we also we still need to be in touch with our seniors that just graduated, and love on them and pray for them and support them as they settle into a new sort of chapter in their life in college. And that's kind of one of the things that youth group can do, is it can springboard you out after you leave your nest a little bit. So youth group is important, and youth group is going well right now. So we need to get those good guys back together, and strengthen their bonds, and get that really rolling again, as I'm sure we will in the next few weeks. They're doing some fun stuff right now, but they're also doing some really good and some really deep spiritual things right now. I'm proud of them. And if you haven't gotten a chance to talk to our youth, there's not a bad apple in the bunch. Those are great kids, and we need to do everything we can to support them. And while I'm bragging, let me brag on our Sunday morning adult Christian ed. It starts out as adult and youth, and then it splits out, and the youth go on, and they do a kind of a deep dive in what we're talking about, and the adults do a deep dive. And if you have not gotten a copy of the book that we're walking through, Walk in Love, y'all, everybody who reads this book is happier and happier with it every week. This is a great book. I don't know where I have been that I didn't know this book, but as we walk through it, there's not a bad chapter in it, and I have heard that from literally everybody who's taken this with us. The attendance in there has been stellar. I mean, 5 and 6 times what we ever have for adult Christian ed, and I think it's because, one, the content is really great, and two, we're dividing it up among several teachers, each one with a different spin and a different teaching style. So it's always kind of new, and it's always kind of interesting. The chapters are standalone chapters, so if you missed last week, you don't have any trouble plugging back in this week. And I am tickled to death with Christian Ed right now. Kudos to Elizabeth Nash, who found this book for us. I don't know where I've been, but boy, she made a fantastic find with that. I do have some folks who've said we cannot get there. We absolutely cannot get there for several reasons for Sunday morning Sunday school. But we're reading this at home as a family, or we're reading it at home as a couple, and they're loving it too. So you need a copy of that book. It's good for you. Uh, Let me tell you all that it has been a little bit of a teary week, as we knew it would be, especially in the early service at Resurrection, as we mourn the loss of our Jackie, but we rejoice with the saints and the angels who welcome her home. Her funeral will be November the 4th, which is All Saints Saturday, which I think is a perfectly appropriate time. She loved All Saints, and we laugh. What Jackie would have liked about her funeral being on All Saints Saturday is that you could set up the altar one time. You could, because funerals are white and All Saints Sunday is white, and she was all about practical altar setup. So we set that altar up one time, we'll change everything to white, and it will stay that way for Sunday. She would have loved that. And I love that too. We have told so many funny stories about that lady and so many great stories about her faith lately. We've got Linda Merrill on our prayer list, who's gotten a cancer diagnosis in the last few days, and you all get on your knees for that. And of course, Jonna Guthrie is she's still at Vanderbilt. She's still in, as expected. She's still in ICU in the cardiac unit, recovering from her second heart transplant, and that heart is beating just beautifully strongly. Y'all keep praying that she will make a great recovery, and pray especially for Karen and for Bobby. Karen's up there at that hospital just all the time. Mamas have just this certain something that not everybody else got, and she is strong, and she is taking care of Jonna, and I give thanks for those doctors and nurses, but especially for Karen, who's taking such great care of her brother Jeffrey, her son Bobby. Bobby's doing beautifully as well, and we're going to be careful not to inundate Bobby too much with too many questions. Bobby, how are you? Because Bobby's dealing with big stuff right now. This is, of course, big stuff in the life of anybody, but especially in the life of an almost 14-year-old. And he knows that we're praying for him, and we'll give him a pat on the back and a hug around the neck and an I love you. But we won't dive deep into too many questions for Bobby. It'd be hard for him to field 100 of those on a Sunday. I know you understand. The family of Jackie Lane, Vicky, and the sisters and the brother, they all send their love to you, and they reiterate something that Jackie said all the time, which is, I don't know what people would do without a church family. And at the end of her life here on this earth, Jackie was surrounded by her biological family, but she was also surrounded by her church family as she waited for her Lord. And as she rests in the near presence of his arms right now, she leaves us with that legacy, with that wisdom, which is, what do you do without a church family? We live in we're living in a time that's got some scary things. There are scary things going on in the world. There are some days that I watch the news and I thought, what in the world has gone wrong with people today? But I do feel like something has gone wrong, and that thing that has gone wrong is that people have fallen away from their Lord Jesus. And I don't know how people live in a world without the Lord, and I don't know how they live in a world without their church family. And so that's what we can do, is we can attest to what we see and what we know. We can tell the world what our Lord has done for us, and we can also pay tribute. We can tell the story of lives that we have seen changed through the power of the Holy Spirit. We can talk about the miraculous healing power of our God. We can talk about the Lord's grace and favor in rejecting sin and turning away from lives that have been plagued and sin sick. We can do that because we've seen it. Some of us have done it ourselves because we've turned to the Holy Spirit, and he has walked us through that. Y'all, don't try to go through life by yourselves. Don't try to go through life without your church family. Don't try to go through life without the help of the Holy Spirit, because we were made for him and he was made for us. We were made for each other. That's how God made us. And that's why we thrive in the presence of the Holy Spirit and with our church family. And if you do not have a church family and you're looking for one, I hope that you will look no further, because you have found it at Resurrection. We love you, and we will see you soon.